The Buffalo Bills just hit a mega dose of good news. What's up, Bills Mafia? My name is Collin. This is Crack the Table. We're all Bills No Breaks, breaking down Buffalo Bills content every day. If you're looking for a home with an eternal optimist around the Buffalo Bills, make sure to subscribe to our channel. But there's one thing I really do appreciate about Bills Mafia. It's that we've been here before as a team. You know, we're 11-4. We're in second place in the AFC East. And, you know, we, of course, would want to be on top. There's still a chance that we could win out and the Patriots could drop a game here or two and we could catch up to them in the standings. But here's the thing. We've been in this position before, and can I just remind you that even though this team has flaws, and even though yesterday's game against the Browns wasn't the best game in the world, there's still a lot to be really excited about and a lot to believe in, a lot to really have our hope in. And can I just remind you that every team has coaching issues. Every team has player issues. Every team has general manager issues. However, your Buffalo Bills are taking things one game at a time, and over the last month, this team is 4-0. And can I just remind you here a moment, we have 2 wins against proven AFC playoff teams in away games in the last 4 weeks. The team is 4-0. We're 11-3 or 11-4 overall. And again, if you're still riding with this team, make sure to smash the like button. Today, I want to break down just a couple things that are really keeping me excited about this team amidst some of the woes, amidst some of the difficulties. And I want to break those down. But again, before we get into it, just to maybe appease everybody here a moment, drop me down 2 things in the comment section. First and foremost, this: what is your top concern in this team right now? But if you're going to put a concern, you also, if you're a critically thinking Bills Mafia member, you also have to include one bit of optimism for the team. So the question is, in the comments, write down, what is your most excited part of the team, or what is your most optimistic part of the team, and what are you most worried about with this team? But I want to get right into it, and I want to show you guys this clip, which is the first bit of good news that I learned. This 44-yard massive run, and even again, if you're looking right here on the screen, watch him. 1, 2, 3 defenders getting caught up, jukes past them. He takes another cut, He absolutely breaks this guy's ankles here, gets past number 9. James Cook, coming out of college and even earlier on in his career, I felt like would go down with a couple of those tackles, but you know what? It doesn't matter. A good job of that. And we've just got to be really excited about that. And not only that, when you look at the Cleveland Browns and the team rankings behind their rushing yards allowed, they are 14th in the NFL, so they're above league average. They're only allowing 113 yards per game on the ground. But you know what? Yesterday, they allowed, 164 total yards. But not only that, when you look at Cleveland and you look at kind of where some things are with them, you can look and see the fact that this team has only allowed 277 total yards each game on average throughout this season so far. So they are a top 2 defense on yards allowed, yet James Cook had no issue absolutely crushing this team. Again, this is a Browns team that is only allowing 113 yards on the ground before even entering this game. Cook's output, he is demonstrating week over week a consistency. He's not getting, nicked up or dinged or anything like that. And not only that, capitalizing on a huge drive. He had 67 yards on an 80-plus yard Bills drive. It only took 2.5 minutes in understanding his burst and understanding his lateral agility and just the offensive line's scheme and the way that they're being used. James Cook is absolutely dominating. He's currently leading the league in rushing yards. He is going after that title. Very, very exciting to navigate. But then again, Matt Harmon, the reception perception guy, he acknowledged our receiving room again. He just looked at this receiving room and just acknowledged that there's some deficiencies here. And while we have a great run game, a great offensive line, and a great quarterback, our receiving room isn't great. But, I think there's a conversation there about the use of our tight ends and the scheme and the personnel, and we're playing to our strengths right now. And for the most part, our strengths are overcoming our weaknesses. Again, 4-0 in the last month. Not only with that, but acknowledging that 2 of those wins were away and they were playoff caliber teams or playoff caliber games. But the other thing I think that's really important to acknowledge, especially with our running backs, is that Ray Davis and Ty Johnson, both uniquely, both differently. Ray Davis as a kick returner, Ty Johnson as a pass catcher, but also now recently again, Ray Davis as a rusher is playing incredibly well. Drop me down again, maybe a thought or a comment that you have on Ray Davis or on Ty Johnson and just the efficiency that they've had. These guys, just down the stretch of the season, have been really amping up and adding extra value on the back end. The backfield is balanced. It's productive. It's helping the team rush for over 150 yards a game. Again, despite the Browns being a top-tier defense, they are doing really, really well. Ray Davis is making a key impact even down the stretch as a backup running back. But not only that, the Bills flipped the script on Sunday against the Browns. We know that earlier on in this game, or earlier on, in the season rather, we had a really difficult time starting out getting points on drives. And you know what? Maybe the beginning really struggled until James Cook got that first touchdown. We were a little, the floodgates didn't quite open yet. But after that, the Bills went up 23-10 by halftime. And you know what? It was the quick, effective plays, really being led by James Cook and Josh Allen, that led to the overcoming of this negative point differential in the first half that we're used to. Again, showcased by the 80-yard drive in about 2.5 or almost 3 minutes. This early dominance, again, I just can't reiterate this enough. This was a top 2 overall defense in the NFL, really, missing Denzel Ward, but really having most of their key pieces at home. This was a game that it was going to be a battle for our offense regardless. But even though our run game can be predictable at times, because we know that from a game script perspective and from even a schematic and personnel perspective, we're wanting to run the ball a lot. James Cook is doing a really, really good job. But not only James Cook, I want to talk about this guy right here, Greg Rousseau. I'll blow this one up here in a little bit too. Greg Rousseau had 2.5 sacks on 9 pressures yesterday. Sorry, I am in the middle of this one here. But we can just watch him. He is getting, he's number 50. He's getting after Shedeur Sanders. He's making plays happen. He's continually showing an improvement. And I said this a couple days ago, and I think some of you guys were just dumbfounded on this, but there's a stat that actually later on this season, Greg Rousseau has been one of the best defensive ends at stopping the run. Now, that wasn't something I think we expected. We know last year he was pretty decent at that, but nonetheless, he was a top 7 defender against running, but also now he's part of his game is growing. He's finally getting after the quarterback in the way that we want him to. He had 2.5 sacks, very exciting. But not only that, again, 32% pressure rate going against the Browns. The Browns, while their offensive line isn't the best, it's still something to battle. It's still a decent unit. But not only that, with Deion Walker on the defensive line, again, a young lineman contributing with some pass deflections as well, just showing improvement and really alongside Rousseau, our defensive line, while we're still getting gashed for some big runs here and there. We saw it yesterday, especially some of the outside scheme stuff. Deion Walker, Greg Rousseau leveling up, very, very good. Maybe a couple other things here. I want to show you some Poyer tape here as well. If you just look on the screen with me, I'll move my face back down and check this out. Jordan Poyer's number 21. Again, 34-year-old Jordan Poyer gets an interception, his first interception as a Bill in a couple of years, I believe since 2022. But with this next point is really not just about Poyer, but it's really about the turnover machine that our offense or our defense really has been, right? Shedeur Sanders finished like 20 of 29 with 157 yards. And the majority of those yards and the majority of those passes completed were actually checkdowns. They weren't middle of the field or deeper down the field passes. And you know what? There was a couple things tackling from Jordan Poyer. The young secondary is stepping up, while also there's key contributors like Trey White and Jordan Poyer down the stretch, which is really good. Cole Bishop has just been so good. He has been an animal. I cannot stop gushing about that. But we've got to be really excited about this secondary. Still a top 2 unit with not allowing pass yards. But overall, man, this is This is just really exciting to see Jordan Poyer level up as a player. Maybe just a couple other last things here. Josh Allen overall is showing a continual level of mental fortitude and even physical fortitude going down the stretch of this season. He gets injured. Again, positive results coming out yesterday that there was no issues with his bones or the structure, and he's good to go. He's going to be continually playing. He had a rough game. A passing game yesterday, which again, to be expected. The Browns are a very, very good pass defense, but overall, again, even maybe just looking at this one last thing here on Twitter, the Myles Garrett mentioned a couple things about Deion Dawkins. He says this, is that usually knowing and understanding how Deion works and how Deion plays and how the Bills play and they run their scheme, he says usually they leave Deion on an island and let him just do his thing. He has a unique set, unique variety, but the guard was coming down quickly and they were throwing a bunch of things at his side. Basically, they were getting the job done to keep Myles Garrett intact or out of the play, and really Myles Garrett didn't get that record. Garrett only needed a half more sack by the end of that game, yet the Bills weren't playing scared. They were playing aggressively. They were containing him, and I think that that's really important, that the Buffalo Bills, even with some of the woes on the team, even with some of the struggles on the team, they're able to quelch, or they're able to hold back some elite threats. I believe, again, that he's like minus 20,000 to win Defensive Player of the Year. He's a very good player. Not only that, they got another rookie on their defensive line who's really good, but this containment is extending drives for guys like Josh Allen to just continually make plays with his legs or hand the ball off. And, of course, the passing game wasn't incredibly, noteworthy yesterday, and that's a whole conversation of itself. But again, this Buffalo Bills victory, even though it was a little bit ugly, even though it was painful, extends their win streak, continues to put them in a position to get a playoff spot, which, again, in a year where most likely now Lamar, Burrow, and Patrick Mahomes are not going to be in the playoffs, this is a year that the Buffalo Bills can actually push through the AFC. The teams that are hesitant, that I'm hesitant on, I really believe it's really just the Broncos and even the Texans. Again, let me know what you think down in the comments. The Texans are leveling up, but if we can get them at home based off some seeding and maybe the championship round or the divisional round, that would be incredible. We can beat the Steelers, we can beat the Jags, and the Colts are pretty much out. There's some other teams in here, but we've proven we can beat the Patriots, especially later on in the season. We can beat them a second time this year in the playoffs if we need to. There is a lot of hope running through my blood right now about the Buffalo Bills, getting hyped, getting excited. But again, the Buffalo Bills are demonstrating overall that there's just really pockets of hope and a shift towards balance and even just an adaptable identity going down the stretch of the season that's showcasing resilience, that's peaking at the right time, and even despite some of the inconsistencies, still coming out with the win, which down the stretch of the season in late December and even January, that is all that matters. The Bills are going to keep churning. I'm excited. I hope you are too. Hey, in all of this, have a great day. God bless. Go Bills. See you tomorrow.